Hi everyone, I'm Anna Wiklund. I am the industry head for retail tech in Sweden. I would like to share with you today the way I describe the engine, which is part of the wheel when I meet with my clients. And usually when I am to describe the engine to them, I always start with a little introduction talking about how the consumer behavior has changed now in the connected world, to really set the scene a little bit and to make them understand where we're going and maybe make them feel a little worried that they are really focusing their marketing money in the wrong way. Uh, so usually I talk about that uh, when we now have great devices, we're always connected in one way or the other, and we always have information at our fingertips with the cell phone or the iPad or the computer, no matter what. And this has changed because when we have the information so close to us, we're also doing research in a completely different way than before. And this is something that also McKinsey has described well in their consumer decision journey uh, publication that they published this, I think it was in 2009, where they described that the old traditional decision funnel, where you start with a lot of brands and then decrease the number of brands the closer you get to a purchase, has changed to having a certain set of brands in mind when you start thinking about a product or a service that you want to buy. But then once you do research, instead of decreasing the number of brands, more brands are added because of the internet and where you can find more information. And that's why it's key for advertisers to understand this and really be there and capture the moments that matter, and really try to get the potential customer interested in their brand and being visible there. Most advertisers are still not there. Most advertisers, as you Googlers know, still spend too much time on TV. But it's really good to read through the studies so that you can explain this to the customer. I also think it's good then to stress the fact that instead of doing that they have done before, to reactively try to create demand by using TV, outdoors, and so forth. Instead, proactively capture the interest that is out there when people are doing their research or just spending time online. And when I sat on the bus to Mountain View a few weeks ago with Klaus Olsson, one of my customers, and we started talking about this, and he said, "But do you think we're doing a good job?" I said that, well, there are so many people out there raising their hands, really like looking for what you have to offer, and maybe you are visible there 20% of the time. And that really got him a bit concerned. And that's also something that Avinash, the marketing evangelist that also talked to us when we were in Mountain View a few weeks ago, he really stressed this when he said a question that I think is great to the audience. He said, "Are you engaging with everyone who is raising their hand, yelling, 'Sell to me'?" I don't think it was many people in the audience that could really stand up and say, "Yeah, that's where we spend the money firstly, and then we spend on other things." So this, I think then it's a very natural transition into starting describing the engine and what's that about. So going into how to describe this smart marketing engine and letting the advertiser understand how they can change their marketing media mix, it's really about starting to focus on the people who are there mentally, who are starting to look for a certain product or service that you as an advertiser can offer. So not starting with like TV and mass medium, start by using media where you can reach these type of people. And there are two important things to think about here. The first one is to use different media types that are choiceable for the consumer. That can be search ads on Google, it can be TrueView ads, and so forth, where the consumer has a choice to engage or not. The second thing that's important is that the advertiser only pays if the consumer decides to engage. If they don't, then the advertiser doesn't pay anything. So this is the whole thing about starting to focus focus and spending money with those people and win those moments that matter. And the other great thing for advertisers by starting doing it in this way is that you can tailor messages in a completely different way. For example, if they invest a lot more in search advertising, they can really tailor the message depending on if in the search query it's apparent that someone is just really browsing for information or has already decided which product they want to buy and just want to find the best offer. But also depending on what device they're on. So, for example, if you are a company that both have an online store and offline stores, and you see that someone is on their mobile phone, then you can tailor the messages to help the consumer finding the closest store instead. That's the type of thing that you can never do on TV or radio or print, for example. So that's another really huge advantage. But so once you have engaged with people here who have decided that they want information, some will buy the product right away. I mean, that's the perfect match. But a lot of people will not buy right away. But here you have the great choice of engaging more with them. And that's really all about having them spend more time with your brand. And they can do that in different ways. You can help them do that by having more online video content that you can present to them. And by also implementing remarketing pixels, you can see which videos they have already viewed, and then you can show different ones to really engage with them. But it can also be by having, for example, a mobile app that you are suggesting for them to download to engage with your brand there. But also don't forget the website also, all the content you can produce for them there. And the important thing here is to have content for all different type of stages in the decision process. It needs to be inspirational material as well as like really hands-on, like tips just before you make a purchase. But what's also really great here, if we go back to like the online video part of the engagement, is that you can have more what we call the hero content that's really engaging. For example, like the epic split from Volvo is one example. But it can also be like customer reviews. It can be how-to videos, like a lot of those type videos. And what many advertisers forget here is that the internet is clickable. So comparing to TV commercials, the online videos, you can have annotations and links so that people can then click and get right to your website, which is another great advantage. So once you have engaged a lot more with them, some people will then decide to buy, and some others will still not buy. And that's fine. I mean, that's the way it is. But all the people that do decide to buy from you, make sure that your job doesn't end there. You need to make sure to add all those customers to your CRM system so that you can follow up with them with great like reassurance messages that they have done the right choice buying from you. But also keeping track, for example, if it's a company that sells like jogging shoes from Nike, for example, maybe after like 6 months, it's time to go back to them again, saying like, hey, have you been running a lot? Maybe you need a new pair of shoes, or something like that. But it's also important to make sure that you help them engage on other social platforms like G+, or Facebook, or Twitter, or Instagram, where they can share with others that they have decided to buy from you. Because that will also benefit your brand and the consideration of using advertising next time they're going to buy something. So that's the whole engine, to really be smart with how you spend your marketing money. And then if you want to add more demand after that, then you can go into buying TV or print or outdoors. Because we're not saying that it's wrong to do that. We're just saying that capture the interest that is already there first, and then you can go into more reactively create for even more people. I hope that you found this useful. Thank you very much.